Hello and Merry Christmas Eve from Black Love and Cinema. My name is Jessica and I'm here with my husband.
I'm Ansel.
Today we are going to be talking about the movie that I know y'all probably been wondering, have we even seen it? Yes, we've been seeing it. We have watched it ad nauseum. That is The Best Man Holiday. And The Best Man Holiday is one of a series, if you want to call it that. So we have The Best Man, which was in 2000. No, that was 1998.
98.
I wasn't even in high school yet. And then we have,
I'm not gonna say where I was at.
yeah.
I wasn't in high school.
And then we have Best Man Holiday, which came out 2013.
Mhm.
And if you didn't know, they continued the storyline, but they did it on Peacock with The Best Man, the final chapters.
Right. And I think they ended the series very well. They brought back the original cast.
Yes.
And they all look
They look incredible.
they all look incredible.
They're all
Every
in their
character.
mid-50s. Maybe one or two are in their early 60s.
Right.
And it's like they look like they did when they did the first film. Matter of fact, I think some of them look better.
Yes, they aged with grace.
Probably should stop drinking Pepsi so I can age with grace too.
No, you look beautiful, babe.
No, thanks.
So in true holiday fashion, we're going to pick out of the Christmas movies who is the Grinch. So out of all the movies we've already seen so far, we've kind of focused on relationships that deal with emotions, grief, loss, dating, and now in the holiday tradition, we want to pick out a Grinch. So we got to figure out who the villain is here. And
This might hurt your feelings.
this may hurt some feelings, and there may be some spoilers in this as well for those who haven't seen it. But for those who haven't seen it, why haven't you seen it?
Right.
Out of all the holiday movies out there, this one is by far the most holiday of holiday movies for Black people.
It's a really great movie too.
It is a good movie. We took a look at the whole series, but we are going to focus on the holiday as well. In this series, we have chosen a villain. We have chosen the Grinch of
The Best Man Holiday.
The Best Man Holiday.
Really the Best Man series.
Yes. Overall, yes, the villain. And it may not be who you think it is. So in the polls, we asked, who do you think is the villain? Who do you think is the hero of The Best Man? So in my opinion, I think that Mia is the true villain.
I'm inclined to agree.
If we look at the impact that was had, she caused the most damage.
Yeah. So we watched The Best Man, and then we watched we watched The Best Man Holiday first.
Right.
And then we went back and revisited The Best Man. And it was just illuminating. Like, these are movies that we all love.
Yes.
No one is most people, I've never heard anybody say,
Right.
I hate The Best Man. These are great movies, and we're not going to deny that at
Good,
all.
good film, good actors, good actresses,
Yes.
well written.
But I don't know if it's because we scrutinize films on purpose or if because we're constantly
Looking for the relationship dynamics.
and
Yes.
just evaluating that. And not just in film, but just in real life.
Mhm.
We were able to see things that I think we talked about, it was like for the first time ever.
Yes.
Because I'm watching this movie and I'm like, this movie should have ended right here.
There was some devious actions afoot.
Yes. And then it almost seemed like it was worse
Yes.
in The Best Man Holiday.
Yes.
So it might hurt your feelings. If you've seen The Best Man Holiday, then you know there's an ending that kind of crushes everybody. And so you might be mad and you want to turn off the video right now and just be like, oh, they're tripping.
Correct.
But we just gonna tell it like it is, because that's what we do on Black Love and Cinema.
So, why Mia? Why is Mia the villain? So, in order to get to The Best Man Holiday, we have to go back to The Best Man and see how it was all set up. So, I'll start with The Best Man Holiday. Basically, she's sending out invitations to all of her friends to come and spend Christmas with them. Basically, it's a setup because there's some drama about to go down between all these friends that haven't seen each other in a while, have lived their lives, but ended in the first movie where it was a complete disaster based off of what happened.
Well, it wasn't a complete disaster because it was a wedding.
Yes, there was a wedding.
And then Q hooked up with Shelby.
Yes. So, yeah, there was some happy endings.
I mean, it was a happy ending, but we all remember Lance having his imagination ran away with him about what happened with Mia and Harper.
Correct.
And so his wedding was like low-key traumatizing for him.
Yes.
So it was a hot mess.
And this was the day before. All this stuff unfolded the day before he was getting married.
Yes.
So if we go back to the first Best Man and we take a look, we see early on that Mia was orchestrating things from the start. And first off, she was working with Harper to begin with, which I didn't really remember that part of it, was the fact that they were writing for the college or
the
newspaper together, and they were pretty much good friends. And I could almost say that they might have been feeling each other. If you look at it a little bit, they were in the same, they had the same similar hobbies or similar things that they were into. But she ended up meeting Lance, and she basically just kind of nonchalantly treated him like he was the star player, but she treated him like he was nothing. She kind of played the hard to get, or like, I'm not worried about, I don't really follow football too much. But then
she had all these suggestions about how to improve his game.
Yes.
Honestly, it just seemed like she played the game. She saw somebody, she basically demonstrated, I am not impressed by you. Everybody else might be impressed, but I'm not impressed. And I'm going to show you how unimpressed I am, but telling you that basically your game ain't all that.
So what does that do to Lance?
He wants her more. And then what adds to it is the fact that Harper mentions the fact that Mia was saving it, meaning she was a virgin. Mm-hmm. And so that made her even more appealing to Lance.
Yes.
And so then we get to this place where Lance is like, I got to have her. And initially, even Harper was like, no, she's a good girl, leave her alone.
Right.
So then Mia and Lance start dating. We don't see the dating unfold in the movie because that's really not the point. But we do know, we get to the point where they're engaged.
Yes.
But what's happened in the meantime is Harper wrote a novel.
Correct.
That his friend, Jordan, got a hold of somehow.
Yes.
To get the inside scoop.
Right. Because she's a network executive.
Yes.
And she's trying to get his stuff in the media.
Yes. And she's read it, and apparently it's gotten around to all the other friends from college. And they can sort of read between the lines in Harper's novel. And it seems to not only reveal details about their lives, their dynamic, but it also gives the thing that's going to crush Lance. It hints at the fact that Mia and Harper had sex.
Right. So,
and not just sex. That means he took her virginity.
Right. And not just sex, as in he took her virginity, but it was from the get back.
Yes.
So it was,
she was getting revenge on Lance for cheating on her.
Right. So she decides to basically sleep with Harper in order to get back at Lance, and then proceeds to marry him.
But the thing about it, what makes it so bad is Lance had been cheating. This is a habit. And she already knew that. So when we was watching, it's like she could have ended the relationship right there. There was no need for the get back.
Right.
But what it came off to us, like if we was going to be real messy.
Yes.
If let's just say this was a TikTok story or something like that, we'd be like, ain't no doubt she stayed with him because of the money.
The potential.
Yes. She knew there was an NFL potential. And she was like, I'm going to stay here and hold it down. And I'm not going to mess it up. By confronting him with this, I'm not going to break up with him. Instead, I'm going to get him in the worst way possible. I'm going to hook up with his best friend.
And she did that.
And then she didn't say nothing.
To nobody.
Never confessed. But then Harper's dumb self put it in a novel and thought he was being slick by not giving the explicit details. But his friends can read between the lines. And unfortunately, one of those friends was Lance.
Yes. And I think the way he had portrayed it was seen to be like it was Jordan, because him and Jordan had kind of went down the same lines.
Yeah.
And he used basically the same moves to get Jordan in bed, but they ended up not sleeping together.
Yes.
But in his book, because it was fictional, he explained it that they had basically had sex.
No, he didn't.
Oh no, he didn't.
That's why I said Lance was like, I can read between the lines.
Yes, he basically made it.
He tried to.
He made it seem like they just stayed overnight, like they just slept together, side by side, and snuggled or something.
Yes, and then Lance read his novel, and the only reason that Lance had been reading it because it was his best friend, he was supporting him.
Yes.
But then he kept observing Harper being all sneaky about it,
trying to get the copy of the.
Yeah, so now he's trying to figure out why the heck he keep taking this book.
Right.
So then he proceeds to read it at his bachelor's party, and then next thing you know, he puts two and two together and then beat the brakes off of Harper.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Almost threw Rilla off the roof.
So then we go back to the holiday.
They're married now.
They're married. They're living their best life. He's in the NFL, nice house, kids, the whole works. And she's inviting everybody out for the holiday. Why would you do that? After the whole thing that happened with the wedding.
And there appeared to be no resolution.
Right.
No one's talked to each other.
Right. Now, all of a sudden, we having everybody come out here, and it's a setup.
Why do you say that?
Because Mia is orchestrating something bigger or something more profound, because she's at the end of her life. We'll just put it like that. Spoiler alert. She's about to die, and I think I feel like she's just basically making a grand gesture, but not in a good way.
Why is it a bad way?
She wants to blow it all up before she goes out. Because now you're bringing all these people that had this past, all these things happen. Basically, she slept with her husband and her friend while she was best friends with the girl that she wanted to actually be with Harper. So she raked that whole thing up. And the Harper's spouse knows what went down. So she's pretty much tainted most of the friendships that she's got.
The reason it comes off as a setup, because now that I evaluate it, she might have just been trying to get them all back together so they could forgive each other.
Gotcha.
But the reason it comes off as a setup is because we get to see how toxic the dynamic is. She created this web by not going to Lance in the first place and deciding either to confront him and move forward, or by breaking up with him. She created this web. Harper contributed to it, obviously.
Absolutely.
That basically created this toxic dynamic between them. So now you got all these other people trying to keep a secret. The secret's out. Lance is upset about it. But we never see Mia confess. Yes. In the meantime, Lance does not confront her either.
No.
And so he's got this little fantasy about his good little girl.
Yeah. Even
now he knows she's been tainted by Harper. He still has lived up to the fantasy that we see carry over into the Best Man holiday.
Right.
So then in the Best Man holiday, like you said, it looks like a setup because she got all these people here who had unresolved issues and tension for different reasons. And it couldn't make for anything but an uncomfortable situation, which it does. It becomes exceedingly uncomfortable. You got people cussing folks out, fighting, all the drama. And what you see is basically Harper and Lance still are at odds with each other.
Right.
The dynamic is awkward. And it doesn't help that Harper trying to write another book about Lance. But he don't talk to Lance about it.
He talks to everybody but Lance.
Like, did you not learn?
Right.
And then on top of that, we got the fact that Harper is also having financial issues. God knows why. That don't make no sense.
Yes.
And then we have Robin, who's now his wife, who's still struggling with the issue with Jordan, but that issue was exacerbated by the fact that Harper, at the end of the first movie, confessed that he almost hooked up with Jordan.
Right.
And because she, made a move on him and he wanted to do it.
And then they still got married.
Yeah.
Outside of the fact
didn't make sense. Because he proposed to her at Lance's wedding. Like, how messy is that?
Another horrible point.
And then the other part was, okay, Jordan's in a relationship with somebody, which is good for her.
Mhm.
So there's really nothing there except for the fact that Jordan is still, there's this awkward dynamic between Jordan and Robin. And
Yes.
then we have Q, and uh, Q is single, but he hooked up with Shelby.
Right.
Shelby is there, but what's his name?
Merch.
Merch is married to
What's her name?
Candy.
Yes. Candace.
Candace. So he's married to Candace, and so Shelby and Candace got this little dynamic going, but it's mostly, I think, because of Shelby's mouth. She's always slick
Correct.
and, judging Candace and everything like that. Everybody there has basically slept with almost everyone there.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, Mia looks like this sweet little innocent person, but she kind of caused all of this stuff.
Yeah, all of it.
Because if she didn't do what she did, if she just left Lance or confronted Lance, they wouldn't be in this situation.
Right. And to add fuel to that, the whole thing that happened between Jordan and Harper, she orchestrated that too.
She did.
Because Jordan was talking to Mia.
Yes.
And asking her about how it was.
Yes. And so Mia's over here basically talking about good girl don't tell her secrets, but basically giving the impression that it was all that. And so now Jordan's like, oh, I got to have it.
I got to shoot my shot.
Yeah. And I'm sitting here like, how shady are you? Knowing that you slept with a dude, and you didn't just sleep with him to get back at Lance, but you knew full well that Jordan was into him back then.
Your friend.
Your friend, the one you claim is your best friend. So this girl was messy.
All over.
Don't let her little petite size fool you. She was messy as heck. And them is the main ones.
Them is the main ones.
Yeah, the ones that don't.
The quiet ones.
The quiet ones. Because here's the thing. I think I told you this. Like, my thing back for me was, I was always easy to target. Like, everything that I did wrong, it was out there. So, like, if I just use, like, my family or whatever, I was the only girl that was getting in trouble. All the other girls in my family were good girls. They all looked like Mia's. And so, like, I was the one who got in fights. I'm the one who got pregnant as a teenager. I'm the one who got arrested. I'm the one who would cuss somebody out. I was the one, going off. And it was like, it was so obvious. You could look at Jessica and be like, oh, here comes Jessica. She about to start something, or it's going to be something.
Right.
And so I couldn't get away with nothing. But then you got other people over here. And they just laying low.
Quiet as a skip.
Quiet as you don't know. And you don't know what none of they mess is about. You assume they're innocent. That right there is how you get deceived. That's the game that Mia played.
So then, now we're going to switch it up and go with what you were saying. The one that is causing the trouble, being loud, doing the things. The hero of this is Q.
Yeah. Q is like what I look like.
Yes.
He's always running his mouth.
The speaker of truth.
Yes. And so when you look at Q, he cracks us up in all of these movies. The movies are good movies.
Yes.
But Q seems like the obvious villain.
Yes, he does.
Well, I mean,
he's the bad boy.
Yes.
He's hooking up with all the women. He's not really got his stuff together. In the first one. And so he he's really brash. He basically says what he means. And he comes off somewhat chauvinist, but it's really not.
Yeah.
He's just very about his truth.
He has no filter.
Yes.
And aside from the storyline where Harper would appear to be the obvious villain,
right?
Q would be somebody that you would think, oh, I don't want no friends like that.
Right.
But in reality,
he was keeping it all together for everybody.
He really was. And it is so evident that not only was Mia a villain, but so was Harper.
Yes.
Okay. But Mia was the one with the puppet strings.
Okay.
Harper was her little puppet.
All right.
Because he bought into the same narrative that Lance did. It just wasn't so overt.
You're right.
She's a good girl.
Oh yeah.
And she knew that. She played both of them.
And he protected that.
He did.
He didn't go to his friend and be like, hey, your girl is out here.
He took full accountability for it. Which, I mean, you can respect that.
Right.
The thing that he did wrong was doing it in the first place, but he did own it.
Right. But to be the best man and know you did slept with, yeah. I don't know about that.
But that's the thing though. So Q looks like the person that you might be upset with, or like in your relationship, if you have a Q in your life, you're like, oh my God, here they come.
Yes, talking all this stuff.
Yes. But if you just listen to what they're saying and you see how they behave,
Right.
it becomes obvious this is a good, this is somebody you want in your corner, somebody you want on your back. For example, the first movie that you talked about,
Right.
like it looked like Q was all over the place, didn't know what he was doing. Who was judging him the harshest? Harper. Harper always had something to say about Q getting it together. And then we see investment. How you have a best-selling novel
And broke.
and broke, you ain't got nothing. Didn't make no sense.
And who comes to rescue?
But he didn't just come to the rescue.
Right.
Harper is still playing these little games,
Yes.
which Q confronted him on. Don't
Yes,
do this again.
Like, look, you already know. You've learned from the last mistake not to hide stuff. Stop hiding stuff.
Stop being sneaky.
Yes.
But in the meantime, who's the one who got it together? Q.
Yep.
Q living his best life. He's
Yep.
holding it down, but not once did he take an opportunity to put Harper on blast. He basically said, what do you need? I will help you.
Absolutely.
You got a wife and a baby on the way. What do you need? And it was genuine.
Yep.
And Harper had to eat humble pie because one, you was the one that was judging everybody. Like you had your stuff together.
Right.
And now the very one that you judge the most is the one who can help you, who will bail you out just because he loves you.
Oh yeah.
And so it gives you a lot of perspective watching this.
Right. If you're the friend, the Harper, and you've got this friend that is always keeping you in check and always helping you in those times where you need it most, you got to take time to consider that this person is really good for you.
The person who provides real wisdom and advice, and they're not kissing your butt and being a yes man for you.
There you go.
You need somebody who will tell you the truth. I mean, there's a way to deliver the truth. You know, the Bible says, speak the truth in love. But sometimes, regardless of how it's delivered, hear the message. Because people that love you are actually trying to help you out. The people who don't love you will say anything you want to hear because they don't care what happens to you.
They're trying to make their moves.
They don't care.
Yeah.
So if you are destroyed, it don't make no matter to them. But somebody who will correct you, somebody who will redirect you, somebody who will offer you some wisdom, somebody who will tell you what they think would be the best thing, the best move to make, whatever it is in the package and the context that they present it, maybe you should take some time to listen to what they're saying and get underneath the message instead of focusing on their tone, perhaps, and focusing on what you have always thought them to be. All this time, like, oh, she always talking trash. She's a troublemaker. He's this, he's that. Why don't you really look at their history? Like, they may act and talk a certain way, but how have they been towards you?
Right.
They've been faithful. They've been good. They've been loyal. They've had your back.
So in true fashion, we took a look at both of these characters. And like we said at the beginning, we're trying to figure out who the Grinch is. In reality, Q could be considered the Grinch because he was the one that was all grumpy, but at the end of the Grinch,
he had a big heart.
He had a big heart. So technically, Q is the Grinch. So watch out for those Grinches out there because some of those Grinches actually do have big hearts. That's our lesson for you this holiday season.
Is that the lesson?
I think it is. And to look out for those friends that's, real quiet, but yet, they might be plotting on you.
So to give Mia some grace.
Right.
It did get to the point where she told Lance, look, I did this. She did tell him that. She was like, you keep getting mad at Harper.
She redeemed herself.
And she was like, but I'm the one who did this. And you refused to accept that.
Yep.
And he was like, no. But it's like, no, she played a part.
So if you want to be mad, you got to be mad at her.
Yeah, be mad at the right person. Or at least be mad at me also.
Right.
And her whole aim was to more or less repent and but also say, hey, if you're gonna hold that anger toward him, then I deserve the same anger because we was in this together.
Correct.
And that is the proper way to deal with it. Just own your stuff. If you do something wrong, no matter how egregious it is, own it and apologize and do different. If they don't want to be associated with you no more, fine. That's their prerogative. Keep it moving. But do your part.
So if you're the Mia out there, realize that you can make a change.
You can change. I mean, and look, whatever is done in the dark comes to the light. You ain't as slick as you think. And even if you think you slick, you can't out slick a can of oil. And I think Q was that oil.
Yes.
He knew before Harper wrote a book.
Right. He said, I already know what's going to go down.
That's why he kept making all them smart little comments. Leading up to Harper's near demise.
All right.
So I hope we didn't ruin your holiday, but...
That is Best Man Holiday. This is Black Love and Cinema, where we take movies and we look at them through the lens of our favorite Black films.
And that ends our countdown to Christmas. So the next video that you see will be the best of the countdown to Christmas, because we know y'all ain't watched all the episodes. So go watch the best of the countdown to Christmas so you can see those engaging clips and hopefully feel inspired to go watch the entire playlist. And we'll see you next year. Take care. God bless.
Stay Black.